What if the true architects of medieval Europe were not kings or conquerors, but a quiet, forgotten people? Their legacy isn't found in monuments, but in the soul of Europe itself, a subtle echo from a world we've overlooked. This was not a single empire, but a network of minds, Celtic Christian monks from Ireland and followers of St. Benedict, whose faith and discipline shaped a new kind of community. They were not warriors, but scholars, farmers, and scribes, seeking not power, but the preservation of wisdom and the salvation of souls. Their influence spread through silent dedication, not the sword. Monks like Columbanus established monasteries that became beacons of learning, while Benedictine houses built a powerful network across Europe. Together, these traditions formed a hidden architecture, a spiritual and intellectual framework that quietly shaped Europe's future. Their story challenges us to look beyond grand narratives and listen for the enduring whispers of a culture that chose humility over glory. The quiet revolution began on the edge of the known world, 5th century Ireland, where a unique ascetic Christianity took root. Irish monks built remote communities, seeking God in solitude and hardship, while the Benedictines in Italy created self-sufficient, ordered societies guided by St. Benedict's rule, prayer, and work. These monasteries became models of stability and peace in a chaotic world. Life inside was disciplined and purposeful, structured by communal prayer and labor. Monks farmed, crafted, and most crucially copied texts in the scriptorium, preserving civilization's memory. These sanctuaries were more than retreats. They were farms, hospitals, schools, and libraries. They taught children, sheltered travelers, and transformed agriculture. Monasteries became engines of culture, points of light in a darkened world. Through silent work and prayer, monks didn't just withdraw, they reshaped society from within. Their devotion created the template for medieval community and the Europe to come. In candlelit scriptoria, monks rescued the fragile inheritance of the classical world as Rome crumbled. They painstakingly copied works of philosophy, science, and poetry, believing all knowledge could lead to God. Each manuscript was a labor of devotion, beautiful, sacred, and enduring. Their relentless copying didn't just save old texts, it laid the intellectual foundation for Europe's future. When Charlemagne sought to revive learning, he turned to the monasteries, whose libraries fueled the Carolingian Renaissance. Monastic teaching traditions evolved into cathedral schools, then universities in Paris, Bologna, and Oxford. The university, one of Western civilization's greatest institutions, owes its origins to these quiet communities. The monks' respect for learning, debate, and community became the DNA of higher education. They taught Europe to read, write, and think again. While monks preserved knowledge, so-called barbarian cultures like the Visigoths and Ostrogoths shaped Europe's legal and architectural future. The Visigothic code blended Germanic and Roman law, influencing Spanish legal tradition for centuries. Ostrogothic rulers in Italy, like Theodoric, sponsored buildings that fused Roman, Christian, and Gothic styles, visible in Ravenna's stunning monuments. This architectural synthesis shaped sacred spaces and inspired the Romanesque and Gothic cathedrals to come. These kingdoms' legal and artistic innovations provided a framework for medieval society. Their influence, like the monks, was quiet but foundational, structural, not always visible. Together they forged the raw materials of medieval Europe. Why are these foundational cultures so often overlooked? Their humility is part of the answer. Monks prized anonymity, working for God, not personal fame, and rarely signed their creations. History favors the loud, not those who erase themselves from the record. Later upheavals, Viking raids, the rise of new empires, and church reforms absorbed and overshadowed these quiet traditions. The unique spirit of early monasticism and the Gothic kingdoms was assimilated, their origins forgotten. Their contributions became so deeply woven into society that they vanished from view. Because their influence was structural and diffuse, it was often mistaken for absence. Yet their legacy was a tectonic shift, quiet, patient, and profoundly powerful. The legacy of these silent architects endures in the very fabric of Western civilization. Europe's cathedrals, libraries, and universities all trace their roots to the humble work of monks and the vision of Gothic kings. The modern university and our legal systems are secular echoes of their ideals. Their devotion to knowledge, order, and community built the foundation for justice and learning we still rely on. Most profoundly, they taught that quiet, patient work can change the world. History is not only made by conquerors, but also by those who build in silence. Their story is a reminder. Sometimes the most enduring legacies are those whispered, not shouted, into history.